All right, we're back here with Nigel Skeet. You are a photographer to rock stars. You founded Homeless Rock Stars. iLoveRedding. We just played the video for the Homeless Rock Star. It's such a fantastic concept behind that. You got picked up by the Huffington Post, right? You wrote about you guys. Briefly, just tell us the elevator pitch of what you guys did with that project.
Well, it's still ongoing, and it's now we're taking this thing national. It's been 3 years now. I thought it was going to be a one-shot deal, but basically, yeah, I've been a rock photographer ever since I was 14. A lot of rock bands, 25 years in LA, and then I also worked with the LA City Attorney's Office, and they took on the Skid Row situation in LA. So I was quite familiar with the
The band or the location?
The location.
Okay.
It's a good band. They were a good band. And then, so took on the homeless situation in LA, and that was very violent and
Yeah.
lots of crazy stuff. And so then I moved to Redding 8 years ago, and one of the first things somebody said to me when I opened up my studio is, you got to be careful of that homeless problem around here. And so I just kind of looked around, and compared to LA, it's like, what problem?
Right.
So it just kind of struck me as bullying. And I just kind of wondered, I wonder what would happen if I was to bring a few of the homeless in to the studio and photograph them and interview them like I would a rock star. And so that was just basically an inquiry. And the very first go around, we did 50 homeless people from the mission, and I had no idea what to expect. It truly was an open mouth insert foot moment because I didn't know 50 people here in town when I did that. But it was amazing. It was actually amazing what happened because we had members of the community come in and interview the homeless. And then people said, well, can you do it again? And can you do it again? And can you do it again? And so then it was always on my heart to homeless kids. So we did our first youth event at the Stirring. And then it was one of the city council members who mentioned, hey, there's 140 homeless kids at Shasta, in the Shasta school district, attending high school. And I was like, wow. You got homeless teenagers admitting that they're homeless or in a problem, and they're attending high school every day?
Wow.
That's where we're going to go. So since then, we've done Homeless Rock Stars events in high schools. We've done them here, and we've done them up in Seattle. We did Santa Rosa. And the next one is actually March 13th at Shasta College. There's
March 13th, coming up at the college.
Shasta College.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, just looking at the video and looking at some of the the Huffington Post article talking about you're just really giving these homeless people just a sense of dignity, just a sense of respect and like honor. It's changed their whole outlook on themselves, right?
Well, there's that, but the magic is in the interview. The magic really is in having members of the community come in. So we have members of city council and the police and CEOs and business people come in, and they get to interview the homeless rock stars. And so the whole idea is first the homeless get hair and makeup, so it just kind of distills some of their survival instinct, and then they get their photo session, so they feel really good about themselves, and then they get interviewed, and the conversation. That simple conversation, the simple inquiry as to who are you, is the magic.
Mm. Wow. So I know you're also involved in iLoveRedding. It's kind of a branding and marketing effort around the identity of Redding. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, for me, the whole idea is to rebrand Redding, and to shift, very simply, to shift the mentality within our city from entitlement to worthiness. I want the 90,000 people or the 95,000 people who are here to feel worthy of a world-class city. Not entitled to great law enforcement, but worthy of great law enforcement. Not entitled to great schools or entitled to a university, but worthy of a university. Worthy of a Porsche dealer, worthy of a 5-star hotel, worthy of an Eiffel Tower, right? Let's feel worthy of having a world-class city.
Awesome. And I would imagine you see a correlation between what you're doing with Homeless Rock Stars and iLoveRedding, because you're talking about worth, identity, absolutely. Honor.
A rising tide raises all ships, right? Yeah. So you cannot have a thriving community if you only concentrate on one aspect of the community. Everybody has to go with you. So the whole idea really is to reposition Redding and reposition Shasta County as a bullseye, because we're actually smack dab in the middle between Seattle and LA. So let's increase our worthiness and let's place ourselves in the center of the action.
Awesome. So what is your 10-year vision for Shasta? What's the biggest dream for this region? What do you see happening?
The biggest thing is that the world knows where Redding is. That's what I want. And one example is a good friend of mine, Chad New. We've been working for 2 years, and we were just able to rename the soccer park from Redding Soccer Park to California Soccer Park. So now it's the California Soccer Park. So that alone, in 2 to 5 years, will probably put Redding on the map globally for soccer, at least.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty subtle shift, just kind of renaming something.
All it is.
But it's a cognitive shift as well. You see it in a different light with a subtle rebrand.
That's it. And the last thing is we need our own airline here. So that's next.
Okay. So you see that happening in the next 10 years?
3 years.
3 years. Nice. All right. What are some actionable things that residents of this region can do to be involved in that?
The main thing is for our residents to feel worthy. Just feel worthy. Just shift to really feeling worthy and being worthy of the best.
Awesome. You guys are worthy of the best. Nigel believes in you. Thanks for joining us today, Nigel.
Anytime.